one thing that I know your book covers is how to unbreak bad habits that are learned in law schools and reinforced in the workplace.
Yeah.
So what are some of the biggest bad habits that attorneys need to break out of that are being reinforced?
Always being available, saying yes no matter what your capacity is. Workaholism is the number one thing that I see lawyers struggling with in my practice. I don't see a lot of, I wouldn't be the person someone would come to for a drug or an alcohol problem,
Sure.
but I do have people coming to me who say, I'm working all the time, I can't get ahead, I don't have time for anything else in life, and I want to figure out a way out of this. So one of the things that I would say is, have you ever heard the expression, don't drink the Kool-Aid? People use that expression in very loosely. And it's actually it came out of a really serious thing.
Yes, it did.
900 people willingly walked to their death because they were following a charismatic cult leader. And I would say that many lawyers are literally marching to their own deaths in the way that they are living their lives because of the attitudes that are so prevalent in the legal profession. So my advice would be to pay attention to the 5 spheres of well-being, to invest time every day in your own personal well-being, physical, emotional, spiritual, the other 2. These are the foundational aspects of life, and we can't ignore them just because we're lawyers. And the profession has to change too, Nick. One of the biggest problems I faced as a litigator was the judiciary. I got called to trial the day after Thanksgiving. I got called to trial the day after New Year's. And guess what? It ruined those holidays for me. And I had many times when I was scheduled to go on a vacation or to do something when a judge went, nope, you're coming to court. And having no autonomy, no ability to plan for your life, your schedule, not knowing if you can buy theater tickets and actually go to the performance, those are huge, huge areas of dissatisfaction in the law. So always being available is probably the biggest problem. And if you were having a baby and your OBGYN was on vacation, do you think she'd fly back for the birth of your baby? The answer is no. There would be another doctor on call, and that's who would deliver your baby. If you needed to see a psychiatrist in August and your person was on vacation, they're not going to come off vacation for you. That's not how it works in the medical field, but it does in the law. Lawyers will call you back from their vacations. And so they don't really take vacations. They go places where they continue to do work. So these are some of the behaviors that lawyers need to stop doing. And I would say it starts in law school. When I went to law school, the amount of work was more than any human being could do. That's why they tell you to get into study groups, because you're going to have to offload some of your work to other people so that you can keep up with what's going on in the classes. So when I was in law school, I was in the library at 6 a.m. and I went to bed at 11 p.m. There were classes in between. I studied, but I was at it from 6 a.m. until 11 p.m. And then the professors prepare you for the law partners because they also expect you to work that way. And so there's this workaholism that is baked into the practice of law that everybody just takes for granted. And it's so baked in. Clients tell me things like, I feel guilty when I'm not working. When I left private practice, my first job was at the School District of Philadelphia, and I was told that the hours were 8:30 to 4:45. I couldn't believe it. I went there for my first day. It was actually true. I saw lawyers leaving the building at 5 o'clock. I left the building at 5 o'clock. It was light out. I couldn't believe it. And I thought, this can't be right. Somebody's going to say, why aren't you here? Because FaceTime is an enormous component of working in private practice. They want to see your face behind your desk for at least as many hours as they're there, but preferably more. Prioritizing work above everything else in your life, canceling plans, not exercising, not getting enough sleep, not socializing, not being with your family. These are deal breakers for most people, but not for lawyers. It's a badge of honor.